This one is about a person who has a 14-week-old German Shepherd. And they want to raise this dog to compete in Schutzhund, which is now called IGP. I'm an old person guy, and it's always going to be Schutzhund. I don't know why they ever changed the name of it, never did agree with it, and never will. But let me read the question first, because it's so appropriate to anybody that gets a new dog, whether it's a working dog or whether it's just going to be a family pet. So here's the full question. Is socializing really that important? I have a very confident 14-week-old working bloodline German Shepherd. I'm raising this dog for Schutzhund, and people in my club said that they never have socialized their dogs, and their dogs are always great. Yeah, they're all old school dog trainers. That's the type of thinking. I'm sorry I'm off topic here, but I'm not. That's the type of thinking that was around 40, 50 years ago when I got involved in Schutzhund. I went to my first Schutzhund seminar in 1974. So that tells you how long I've been around this thing. And not socializing a dog, the old Germans back in the 60s and the 70s and into the 80s used to throw a puppy in a dog kennel and not do anything with it until it was a year old. And the only reason it worked was their bloodlines were so good, and they culled their dogs, and the bad ones that couldn't make it, they were gone. Cindy goes on to say, when we talk about socialization, it's obvious most people think it means letting the dog go out and meet people, meet other dogs, and they're dead wrong. That is absolutely not what good socialization is. And I've talked about this in other YouTube videos that I've done. I talk about it in my videos on your puppy 8 weeks to 8 months. I talk about it in a lot of different places. I've written articles on how to socialize your puppy. We'll put a URL on the screen right here on what our opinion is on the correct way to socialize a puppy. Our opinion on how to socialize a dog is to take it out and get it used to being around people, places, and things. When we raise our puppies and we take them out into various environments, we don't want people to come up and interact with our puppy. We don't know what people are going to do. We don't know how they're going to act, and we don't let them touch our puppy, and we don't let them pet our puppy. If people come up, we say, please don't touch the dog. He's in training. We don't want to have a bad experience for the dog. What we do when we take them out to different places, we gradually increase the types of environment and places that we want to take the dog, and we slowly ramp up the distractions in the areas where we take them. And we take the dog out and we work little engagement programs. And if you're new to dog training, if you're new to Leerburg, we sell really good training videos on teaching new people how to build engagement in their dog. And what is engagement? It's our dog focusing on me. They want what we have. What we have is usually high-value food treats or their favorite toys or whatever. But the thing is, on what we do is we'll take our dogs to different places. We work them in engagement. We get the dog so it's comfortable being in a new place. A new place is not a dog park. The worst place you can take your dog is to a dog park. Number one, you don't know what the temperament is on the next dog that's going to walk into that dog park. Is it going to run over and jump on your dog? I just did a Q&A on a dog that was attacked on a puppy that was attacked by another dog. Don't do that. But our purpose when we take our dogs out is to basically watch how our dogs react to different levels of distraction. If there's a hole in the dog's temperament, we want to know what it is so we can work around it. Back when I was young, many years ago, and I started producing videos in 1982, got my first video camera so that I could remember things when I would go to seminars and come home, 1978. I used to think I'm going to wait until I retire, and I'm going to get the perfect dog, and I'm going to raise that perfect dog up and take it out and compete in Schutzhund and do great. And it took me a lot of years to realize there is no perfect dog, none. Every dog has something in their temperament that needs to be fixed. And yes, there are some dogs that, like this person said, how does she word it? I have a very confident 14-week-old working bloodline German Shepherd, and I bred a zillion of those during the 35 years that I bred dogs. Very, very confident. But you know, not all of the people that I sold puppies to had the skills to be able to go out and train these dogs to do high-level sport work. So they can get rid of the dog and start all over again until they figure out, what I figured out is, there is no perfect dog. There barely is a perfect dog trainer. I'm not one. I don't know any. We all have our holes. But the point is, if we take our dogs to different locations, if we expose our dogs to different levels of distraction, if they have little holes, we can work with it. We know how to work with it. I'll use a perfect example of the dog park issue. We don't take our dogs to a dog park. We will take our dogs near a dog park, and we will see where we can get engagement. How close can we get to a dog park to get good engagement with our dogs, where we can get our puppy that wants to focus on us and ignore the dogs over in that dog park. And in the beginning, it might be several hundred yards away. Not a problem. What do? We try and shorten that distance up. We're trying to find the distance where we can still get engagement with our puppy and not have him freaked out or not have him focused on the dogs over there that may be barking at us through the fence. One thing about it, the puppies never go over there, never, ever. Cindy makes a point here that when she did this Q&A, she had a 12-week-old puppy, and she's become the puppy raiser in our family because at times I'm lazy. She's not. And she takes her puppies someplace every single day, to get the puppy off our property, to get the puppy out and about so that it sees the whole world and it's comfortable with the world that it lives in. And that's what we want. So our dogs, first and foremost, are raised to be family dogs. I no longer keep dogs in my dog kennel. I have a really, really nice breeding facility, ceramic tile on all the walls, floor drains, steel gates, blah, blah, blah. Our dogs live in our home. And if we were to get a dog for sport work and raise it the way that we raise it as a part of our family, and the dog didn't quite have the drives necessary to do the level of sport work that we want to do, then we'll find another home for him. And if we've done a good job socializing our dog, that dog's going to move into a new home and settle in way quicker than some dog that's been stuck in a dog kennel its whole life. I mean, just stop and think. The dog where's a dog going to be if we put him with another family and he moves in with the family and it's a dog that's slept in a dog kennel its whole life? Those people are going to have to go through all the house training and everything else that we've already done. So as much as we want the people to be able, if we have to rehome our dog, if we want the people to have a nice family dog, personally, I'm less concerned with those people than I want to make sure the dog that I've raised, that's lived in my home, can go into a new home and not be traumatized. I want my dog, I want to be able to put my dog over here and be happy that he can be there and enjoy being there. And I'll tell those people how we raised it, and then we go on from there. If you're getting a dog, be it for sport work, it makes no difference. Our dogs that we're raising for sport work are going to be, we're raising them the same way, pretty close to the same way, that we raise a sport dog. And if you're new to this world of dog training, get the video that I did titled Your Puppy 8 Weeks to 12 Months. Get the video I did on intermediate dog training. Learn what reward-based training is. I did the video on the power of training dogs with markers. We have the video on the power of training with food, the power of playing tug with your dog. There's information here. I wish back in 1974, when I got involved in dog training, that I would have access to all of this information. And be careful about who you listen to on dog training. And 98% of the people that are given information on YouTube are people that lack experience on how to train dogs. We've got these clickbait guys out there that have hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of subscribers that are clueless dog trainers. When I used to, and I'm going to do a video just on this, I think, but when I used to sell my dogs, or puppies, I used to tell people that same thing. Be careful of who you listen to, because everybody knows how to train a dog. Ask your neighbor, ask your barber, ask your postman. Everybody has an opinion on how to train your dog. And most of them are well-intended people, but they lack experience. Now we have people on YouTube that are fools, and their only interest is getting you to click on their video with their clickbait little images on the top of their videos, and their only interest is money coming in from YouTube. And that really burns me because it's unethical. But I will do a video on this because I'm going to point some people out. I'm kind of having a hard time keeping my mouth shut on naming them. I don't want to give it out because it's just going to advertise for them. But I'll do a YouTube video on them. So that's enough said, enough of my rant for the day. You can go to Leerburg.com, scroll down to the Ask Cindy, ask her a question on dog training, on raising puppies, on breeding, on behavioral problems, some medical problems if we don't. Sometimes people will ask medical problems and we're not veterinarians. We have, over 50 years of experience in our dog business, and we'll tell you if we don't feel comfortable answering your question.